Good morning, everyone. Today is August 13th, 2024, and I'm looking at several stocks here today. So let's go over what I'm looking at. I'm looking at NVDA, Home Depot, Dell. Those are some of the ones that have some movement here this morning. So let's pop those up on the screen here. And SMCI had a big move yesterday, so I've got that on watch. And then Rivian I was watching yesterday. We can replace that with Tesla. And then we'll change this to the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So these are the ones I'm looking at so far. Let's see how the market opens and see if we can find some trade opportunities. PLTR is another one that I'm keeping my eye on as well. That had a move yesterday. Actually, that might be more liquid than Dell. But this kind of blew off top yesterday on Dell. You could call it maybe the first red day on the daily. So we'll see if this one has any kind of move to the downside today after putting in this blow off top. We'll keep an eye on PLTR. Alright, the market just opened. The timing that you see on my chart is Pacific time zone, so it's 6:30 in the morning here. The market just opened, but the market, of course, runs on Eastern time zone, so right now it'd be 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So keep in mind when you see the timing of my charts. Let's look at 30-minute charts of all these to see how we're doing. Tesla kind of in the range. The market gapped up over this range that it made over the last few days. Nice clean gap up over the 535.75. Little gap up on Dell. Big gap on NVDA. Home Depot just kind of coming back into the range. So I'm looking at CMG here. And I decided to take a short on CMG. Put that over here. CMG down today 11%. It's SSR, but it broke that 50 level, so I think it's worth taking a shot at this one. Let's see what it looks like in. This is the daily chart. Big gap down today on looks like earnings today. Actually, I don't think it was earnings. Earnings were here just a few months ago, so there's be some bad news on it. But that's the only position that I have right now is short on CMG. And maybe we can get it down to 48 today. Let's see. Put a line here. Let's see. Tesla just ripping up here. CMG. Let's see how it reacts to this pre-market low line. Tesla testing 200 again. Holy smokes, looking at Starbucks here, just came across this one. Up almost 21% today. Holy smokes. Nice day if you're a Starbucks investor. Big gap up. like NVIDIA here. I'm going to try some long NVIDIA, NVDA. It's up about 3.5% on the day. Big move up pre-market, and then it dipped down here into this 50 EMA. Now going over the high, so I like this for a long, and I am long some NVDA, and I am still short CMG. 2 trades on for now. Alright, I like ARM as well here for a long. Let's look at 30 minutes on ARM. So NVDA and ARM sort of obviously both semiconductors, so it's kind of the same trade that I'm taking long here on NVIDIA and long on ARM. So ARM's got resistance at around 120 and then 122. So let's see if it's got enough buying pressure to move it up to 122 today. And then NVIDIA on the 30 minute. Yeah, this we looked at earlier where it just gapped clean over the previous day's range. And it's got room to 120 as well. So, do have a line at 114 here, so this could potentially act as resistance. So, let's see, we're going to keep a close eye on both of these longs that I just took. So, we got a long on ARM, NVIDIA, and a short on CMG right now. All right, market continues to move higher. So hopefully that's going to carry our long trades up. Tesla, man, what a move. We missed it here. But I usually don't get into a trade super early. I feel like Starbucks would be a good one to join on a dip to VWAP, the purple line, or maybe even down to 90s. A lot of times when these stocks gap up so much, like this is a 21% move already, a lot of times when that happens, there's not much range left after the market opens. So like a lot of the action happens before the market, and then when the market opens now, we could just go sideways or drift lower or kind of sort of melt upward. So it's difficult to find a day trade when the range has already been put in pre-market. So sometimes I've learned to sort of stay away from these. look along here in Apple too, so I got long some Apple, AAPL. I'll put it up here. So I like that it has a lot of wicks here on the bottom off the VWAP, so the market's up. Wow, Apple instant resolution on the long. NVDA, nice. Need to get over this. ARM, fantastic bounce here in the wick off the VWAP and the 20 EMA. So this is looking really good so far. Now I'm looking to take some profits off the table soon here on Apple, NVIDIA. Those are the closest to my targets. Apple, my targets just over the highs to take some of it off, and then same thing in NVIDIA here, just over 114. I want to take some off. ARM, I need to give it a little bit more room, like probably over 122, since I am giving it a good amount of room on the downside. I need to wait to take profits until it makes a move towards that 122. So gonna have to be patient on the ARM, take some profits on that. All right, so I just took some off of Apple. So we had a nice 1-to-1 here, and we still have half of our size left on Apple for move higher. So we do need market participation, so we do need SPY to continue its bounce and go higher here if Apple's going to continue. But this is a really solid uptrend here over the past, since this was probably the 5th here, August 5th. Oh man, we were so close to getting an exit here on NVDA. Did not. So I'm still holding pretty much everything here. ARM, Apple, NVIDIA longs, and CMG. I'm short. I'm looking to cover somewhere around 48 for CMG. So yeah, this is where I got this line, so I'm going to try to cover some there at support. The only one giving me trouble right now is the ARM long, which we got long around here. So, but my stop isn't going to be until down here. But if NVIDIA continues to go up, then I think ARM will too. So we're going to stay patient on this, let it do its work. Alright, so we just got our exit on NVDA, got filled around 114.32 to take half of my position off there, and then we're going to try to let it ride. So SPY now bouncing off the VWAP. These are 5-minute charts, so where we still need about 2.5 minutes for it to close, so this bounce may not necessarily be a bounce right now. So let's wait and see what happens. CMG got a cover near 48, really close to getting a cover there. I like to just set my order out there and let it fill me. So I'm just going to be patient and see if I get a fill on that order. So CMG, what happened? Let's look at the news. Why is it down almost 14% today? And I'm just scanning Twitter here, or X, to see. Looks like there was this news with the CEO. Looks like Starbucks replaces CEO Narasimhan with Chipotle CEO Nicole. That's why Starbucks is up. Okay, we just got a cover on CMG, so we took half of our short off there. So we locked in some profit, and now we got runners on Apple, NVDA. Hopefully those continue going up. ARM giving me some trouble here. My stop is going to be near that, below the 50 EMA. So if we get hit, we get hit. That's fine. So yeah, back to Starbucks. Back to CMG. Starbucks poached Chipotle's CEO. Wow. Yeah, so that's basically the news on CMG and Starbucks. That's why Starbucks moved up so much and CMG moved down so much, is that basically the CEO of Chipotle moved on over to Starbucks. So I guess investors thought that was a great thing for Starbucks and a bad thing for CMG, Chipotle. Interesting. I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make to Chipotle's business having a different CEO, because from what little I know about Chipotle, I feel like they do pretty well. So even with a different CEO, I feel like they'll probably continue to do well. So very interesting here. See what happens. Alright, so an update on what's going on. We got the SPY dumping here below the VWAP, and so that's bringing Apple with it. It's probably going to take NVDA as well, so I want to try to take a little bit more off of NVIDIA here. ARM has bounced off the 20 EMA and held the VWAP, so we're still long ARM. Chipotle, we took a cover right here at the lows, and now it looks like it wants to bounce, so we're keeping an eye on that. Could run up here into 49.50s. I'm going to take an ad on the long on Apple here. So I still have shares from my original long that we took, but I'm going to add to my long here. And especially if SPY bounces off here, goes higher, I think we're going to see a continuation in Apple. And I'll probably look to do the same here on NVIDIA, try to add near the VWAP if it shows a bounce. All right, we're pulling back down here on pretty much everything. The markets by NVIDIA, Apple, ARM. ARM, we're going to be close to getting stopped out if it doesn't reverse here pretty soon. NVIDIA would be a good ad spot if it bounces off the VWAP. I do have my stops in place, so, you know, if market goes against me, I will be stopped out. A lot of these names, I'm looking to see if we bounce off of VWAP here. NVIDIA has not gotten there yet. ARM bounced off the 50 EMA, which is, you know, it's pretty close to where we have our stop. NVIDIA might add here to my long. All right, I added some on NVIDIA for the long. Rivian I'm taking a look at to see if maybe that's a potential long. I like this wick off of the 200 EMA. We got all the EMA supporting here, so let's see. Keep an eye on that one. Just realized my music is not on in the background, so let's put some music back on, shall we? Okay, so we got the ads on NVIDIA, which so far is looking good. ARM, looking okay, since it bounced off this area. So if we can make it now a run towards 122, that would be nice. CMG, my stop's going to be close to where I entered short, so right around 50 bucks. So the question is Starbucks a good buy right now? I mean, for a trade, not to invest in as a stock that I'm not so good at picking. But is this a good spot to go long Starbucks? Wait, is this Starbucks or is... feel like they look the same, the charts. I don't think it changed. Now it did, so yeah. I don't know if this makes it down to VWAP today. Starbucks is so strong, up 21%. I don't know if this is gonna make a move lower. May not. Alright, ARM. Nice pike up here. Let's see if we can get our exits on this guy. I'll try to get out of ARM here, or take a piece off just over the highs. Alright, Apple is not doing what we want it to do. So my stop on Apple is going to be pretty close here, below that 220. So let's see if it We really need this 20 EMA to hold the price. And then of course support is right at 220 here. So if we get below this line, I'm going to be out of the long, and you know, we can always look for a re-entry in that, but there's no need to stick around if price is proving our trade wrong. Nice move up here on ARM. Let's see if we get that exit on ARM. NVIDIA doing well. I like the bounce off the 20 EMA. The market's bouncing up. Apple's finally bouncing up as well. Alright, let's go ARM. Nice push here. Volume kind of low, but alright, great move here across the board. NVIDIA is doing well for us. We're going to take a little piece off NVIDIA here. Well, maybe we should wait I do like usually taking some off near the highs, the previous highs, so yeah. I'm going to take some off here on NVIDIA and ARM. Yeah, I'm looking to take some off of ARM here. Let me give it a little bit more space here. Let's see. Need a lot of these moves to continue, especially Apple. Apple, I am double the size on Apple, so that's the one I really need to work. Hey, the volume picked up on ARM. That's nice. 151,000 shares here on this candle so far. And last candle was 62,000. So I did take a piece off here on ARM, and I'm trying to sell a piece here on NVIDIA. I got a limit order up here in the 114.60s. Apple, I'll probably take some off around 221.50s as well. All right, I just gotta fill on NVIDIA. So we got some out at 114.68. So pretty much all green day here on the tickers we've traded so far today, which are Apple, ARM, CMG, NVDA. So Apple's the one that I'm pretty heavy on. That's the one that I'm now going to put a tight leash on, because it's now shown that it's got support, really good support in this area right here, 220s, a lot of wicks in this area. So if it breaks below this, I'm not, you know, I'm gonna have to let it go and wait for another setup. CMG, I'm still short CMG. I did take some off right near the lows here. Actually, on CMG, I got to fill at 48.07, which is pretty crazy, like right near the lows here. 48.07 would be right here. So I covered some there, half my size I covered. And then, you know, if it makes it back down there, I'll probably cover more. Yeah, I'm not sure how bad the news is on CMG. Like, I just quickly skimmed over it about the CEO change. I don't know how bad that is, right? I mean, it's dropped the stock 12%, so I guess it's pretty bad, but is it bad enough that it makes an effect on the company that's going to last, or is this like a short-term thing, like bad news for a few weeks and then back to normal? Because if that's the case, then you might see a lot of people buying CMG for the long-term portfolio, thinking that this is a good time to buy it, you know, like, so it was as high as $70 after that split. 50-to-1 split happened back in June, just a couple months ago. Went from 70 down to 48. And so 48 is that support from earlier this month on the 5th, where we had that big red day across the board when everything dumped. So it's a good chance we'll bounce off this 48. So, you know, I'm keeping a tight leash on CMG. If it makes it above Well, let's see, where should we put our stop? If it makes it above this recent consolidation, then I think we have to let the short go, because this might entice some buyers to come in and might just kind of melt upwards the rest of the day. Because I don't think the news is bad enough to warrant like a massive sell-off, right? I mean, yeah, the CEO changed. That's generally bad news, but there's nothing fundamental that's changed about the business as far as what little I know about it. I'm not an investment advisor, and I'm definitely not a investment expert. So this is just my amateur opinion on this. I would think that a lot of amateur traders would be looking to buy the dip on CMG. All right, let's go Apple. So Apple working out really nicely. That's my heaviest position today, where I added on that. We had our initial entry on Apple near the web app, and then we added again when it bounced off here. Second time, then we waited out this period, and now we got a nice curl. So I'm looking to take some off on Apple. Right here, I got a limit order set up. Let's see if we get filled. So I did take ARM off here. We're just barely green on ARM. Didn't really get that much a move because, you know, our entry was pretty late up here. My entry was late. Probably should have gotten in this area for the long. Instead, I got it up here. So I had to wait through this drawdown, and then I got out around on these spikes here. So not much of a gain, but a green trade. I am trying a small size long on Starbucks here. I like this sideways action and then a pop-up, so gonna be a tight stop though. If this thing reverses, I'm gonna get out. Apple trying to take some off right around here, 221. Yep, I'll take some off right here. Just got filled. It's nice. I am close to getting stopped out here on CMG short. So got stopped out, but we did get a nice profit on the initial entry that we took, and we took half the size off there, and the other half we broke even. So still a profitable trade. So we'll take that, but you know, we'll keep an eye on this and see if it offers another setup. I'm not sure that it will. It might just kind of float sideways for the rest of the day, and those are kind of the times where it's really not to our benefit to take a trade, because it just doesn't offer the risk to reward that we need to make it work. Otherwise, it's just like a coin flip, 50-50. Took off my Starbucks long. Yeah, took that Starbucks long off. Yeah, I mean, it might just consolidate here and go sideways, and I just don't want to sit here all day holding on to the long, so rather than do that, I'd just rather take it off and get back in if we get another bounce off the view up, or it might just, you know, fade back down. So I'm not too confident on it, so I'd rather just take it off, take the small loss, and move on. Our best performer is NVDA today, just trucking along. So we did take some exits here, and I still have about a third of my size. Nike NKE had a big run up today, almost 5%, but it's nearing this resistance area, 79, and it is turning off there. I was looking at potentially shorting this, but I don't want to chase it. Let's see if we get a bounce back and get an opportunity to short this one. Same thing with Starbucks. I feel like ran up and now might give back gains. Starbucks at the VWAP right now, so let's see if we get an opportunity to take Starbucks long on a bounce. We may not get it. It's already up so much. There's two scenarios where it bounces off here, or somewhere around 92 area, or it kind of just slowly bleeds off the rest of the day. Checking out Starbucks here, keeping an eye on it for a potential long here. What's going on here? I feel like my charts are off. Why is there so much of a space right here in between these things? All right, that looks a little better, I think. And Starbucks. I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant to get long Starbucks here. I feel like it's kind of the obvious trade to get long here. And a lot of times the obvious trades are the ones that you end up getting trapped on, right? So also, it being like, almost noon here, market time. It's about 11:44 a.m. Eastern time right now. This is typically not a good time to enter new trades, as you're kind of entering a zone of chop and a lull in volume around this time, right? So I'm going to have to be careful and try to, stay hands off unless I see something really good. So that's the goal here. So right now, as far as positions goes, I'm long NVIDIA and Apple from the morning. So I have a good average on both, on Apple and NVIDIA. Got NVIDIA around 112s high 112s. And Apple, my entries are around, it's below 221, so it's 220.80s, I believe, yeah. So, yeah, 220.80, and then 113.59 on NVDA. So, pretty decent entries, not great on Apple, since Apple was mostly sideways in the morning after the initial pop. But I like this sort of price compression where it's going sideways. And these are the ones that could make a late day run if SPY continues to go higher. So we got our stops in place and some profit targets up near high days on both NVIDIA and Apple. And then I like to let the trades just work themselves versus me getting in there and tinkering with the stop. I end up just kind of getting out of good trades when I do that. So sort of learning to stay more patient now. So I took some R off there on Apple. So I have like a third of my size left on Apple now. Actually, yeah, I added on Apple, so I have more than a third of size, almost about 40% left on Apple. So, yeah, I like taking pieces off, obviously, if I have too much size on still. I would hate for Apple to, like, go back down to VBAP, for example, and I have, like, no exits up here. You know, that would be terrible. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely smart to take some off here and then still hold some for a bigger move. Let's take a look at CMG. This one made a superb move back up. Great bounce off 48, sorry. Almost a $3 bounce, $2.50 bounce off 48. Was not looking at this one for long today. Probably should have been. Let's see what it does here at the 50 EMA. Apple still looking good. Starbucks lingering near the VWAP. I was thinking about taking a long here, but I don't know if it's sort of, you know, peaked out here. SPY continues to go up. This is nice. That's going to help our Apple. Yep. That should help our NVDA long. Let's go. Apple, I'm going to look to take some off. If it breaks the high, maybe around right under 222 would be a good spot to take. So like I said, I still have a third of my Apple size. Since I did add twice, that gave me more than I would usually have. So took a little bit more off of Apple here in case this is a topping area for Apple. I want to make sure that I did get some off there. Still holding some size Apple long, and I still have NVDA long as well. All right, everything moving down. So let's see. Things are moving down. Apple looking for a VWAP bounce. Looking for a bounce off VWAP on NVIDIA as well. I mean, the good thing for me is that my average is right near the VWAP, so if it doesn't bounce there, I'm going to cut, and it's going to be a very tiny loss, right? Almost break even. So, and the other option is that I could potentially add to my positions if we get a bounce off of VWAP. So that's the other benefit. Of course, all this is going to depend on the market, SPY, which is sort of rejecting so far off the 539. So Apple has rejected off that 221.50 this line like 1, 2, 3, 4 times today. Now we need to see if maybe later on if we get over that line, if we get a push on SPY. man, definitely missed the CMG long play here. This thing just shooting straight up. Wow, from 48 to 51 now. 3-point move. And this is the high of day is 51.35. Pre-market highs 52s. So I think, like I was mentioning this morning, you know, the news is bad where the CEO is taken off, but how bad is it? You know, is this, how detrimental is this to the company? I mean, they're still gonna have sales, they still have their restaurants open, everyone's still eating at Chipotle. It's not like they're have a loss in revenue or some major shift in business. So this all points to long-term investors maybe wanting to buy the dip and add to their long-term holdings. Like if they already own Chipotle, now they can get a big discount on it, right? Because it's down, you know, it was down 10% today when it was at 48 or more, actually, I think. So it's like, hey, you own this and now you can buy some more at a big discount, maybe average down. Or people that don't own Chipotle, they want to say, okay, this thing's kind of on sale today. So I think with large caps, we kind of have to, or I have to be kind of cognizant of those big picture ideas, because even the chart might be setting up for a short. When you look at the fundamentals and kind of the big picture where the whales might be positioning, it might be more of a long than it is a short. Or, you know, at the worst case scenario, I should be, if I get out of my short position, I should be looking at a potential long in these types of plays. So this is something that, you know, I need to learn myself and get better at. Let's go, NVDA, blasting off. Not really blasting off here at, you know, noon on a Monday. It ain't really blasting off on a Tuesday, noon on a Tuesday. But the SPY is certainly blasting off, so let's go, NVIDIA. Okay, Chipotle, CMG, now back under that 50 EMA. So I have to see if maybe this is a potential short play. Watching Nike here at 79. That's resistance from the daily. We drew that line out this morning. Let's let's go here and look at. Okay, let's look at daily. There we go. This is what I mean for Nike. Let's look at the volume too for today. The 79 is a key. I mean, if it can break over this, if Nike can break over that 79, then it's like, man, you got a lot of space here towards, 90. So, big gap fill. But, let's see what happens at this 79. This is a very, very interesting area. See what happens. I will look for a short on Nike if we get some sort of reject, which I'm seeing here. So let's see here. Dude, so far Nike rejecting that 79 pretty hard here. So All right, we're going to try a short on Nike here based on what we talked about earlier. We've got that resistance spot at 79 from the daily chart. And I think we should be able to squeeze out. If we do get a move down, we can probably get 2R. So I think it's worth taking a shot here. So we'll take a shot at NKE short, 79 area. All right, so we got this topping area on SPY overall market, S&P 500. It's kind of topping out at 540. You know, if this ends up being the top, then we could see a downward move on pretty much all of our longs. Well, we only have 2 longs right now. I only am long NVIDIA and Apple, and I took out almost all of it. I have very small pieces left, 20% size on NVIDIA and Apple left, so break even stops for both of those if they do end up going down. Nike, we are short. Right below that 79, I got short. And, you know, so far we have an immediate resolution to the downside, which is nice. A lot of my trades that are good, they work immediately. And they never look back. So my cover spots are going to be near the 78 support and then at VWAP. So those are going to be my 2 cover areas where I already have limit orders out to cover shorts in those 2 spots. So let's see how that works out. And hopefully NVIDIA and Apple can tread water, stay above these EMAs that we've got here. Apple surfing the 20 EMA. Same thing with NVIDIA surfing that 20 EMA. So keeping a close eye on those 3. Starbucks just shopping around here near the VWAP, and this is something that I am getting better at. We were looking at Starbucks thinking, okay, maybe we can get a long trade off of VWAP, the purple line, but sorry, looking at the long on Starbucks, normally I would take this first bounce, but what I've learned over time is to just be patient. And because if this truly does bounce off here, a lot of times it'll offer you an opportunity for a second or maybe even a third bounce. And if it doesn't, you miss the trade. But a lot of times it does do that. It'll bounce, and then higher. But since Starbucks is up so much today, it was up over 20% at the highs, I would think that some people might take this as an opportunity to sell. So that being the case, I think I told myself that I need to be really careful about longing this here, because we could see sort of like a slow meltdown to the the 50 EMA or lower, or maybe it doesn't melt down, just go sideways for the rest of the day. Either way, the point is that if we're going to be risking and putting our stop here, see, we would have been stopped out, or we close to being stopped out right now if we took a long in this area, or if we give it this much room. The problem is if we put our stop down here, let's say, 92 is too obvious, right? Let's put our stop lower. Okay, let's put it down here at 91.50. Well, then you need the stock to move above the highs to really even get a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And that's, unlikely when a stock is already up 20%. Like, how much higher can Starbucks go? This is not a small cap, right? This is a large company. So you have to ask yourself, is this something that can really move another 10%, right? It's already up 20. Can it go 30? Maybe. I don't know, but I think it moves like that are pretty unlikely, especially when it's like noon right now. It's like, afternoon, Eastern time. It's like 12 o'clock Eastern time, 12:30 right now. And these are usually the times where the volume dies off, right? You don't have this volume that we had in the morning. It's just dead right now. And so are we really going to get a big surge of volume right now to take this to new highs to 96, 97? I thought that was unlikely. And that's why I stayed out of the long trade at the VWAP, even though this is typically a setup I do look for. Knowing that it's up so much, and the other factors with the news, with the CEO being replaced, like, maybe this is one that just gives it all back. I don't know, but so that's my reasoning for not taking it. And it doesn't mean that I wouldn't take it maybe later on this afternoon if it kind of lingers around this area and kind of curls back up. Maybe it is a long again, but I'm just explaining why I didn't take it here in this initial bounce off. I did take it for a long on this candle. I did take that long and I stopped out here. But I think that's a better setup than what happened here. So, because you still have that momentum. Here we still had that momentum from the morning drive, so it kind of dip and then. But here, we know that momentum's dead, right? It's literally going sideways. So the only way we're going to get a move here is if buyers come in, support this area, or the sellers just, there's no sellers left, and the price melts up. So let's see what happens. I mean, this will be interesting to watch here as we get closer to market closing time. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. And I'll keep it here on the screen. Alright, we got some big moves here. SPY jamming here. Jamming higher. Leading NVIDIA and Apple to go higher. It's also lifting Nike, which is not good because we're short Nike. We are long NVIDIA and Apple. Tesla's also booming higher. Let's put Tesla up there. And then I'm looking at other ones to see if maybe this is a good opportunity to get short on some. Alright, our Nike short is looking better now that it's rejected that 79 area twice now. NVDA looking good. Trying to break that 115 could be an ad spot. I'm going to try a small ad on the 115 here. Tesla similar to NVIDIA, where it's right into that, but Tesla I like for a short because of this area right here. Okay, so an update, I did add some new positions. I shorted coin, Google. Put up here, Google I shorted. And I also shorted Tesla. Let's put coin over here. Shorted coin, shorted Google, and I'm up on all of them. Nike I added to my short because it showed me the double top. So added, but tightened up my stop a little bit. So nice moves so far on Google and Nike. NVIDIA I am long, and Apple I'm long still. So, and Apple I might add to the long over the highs on Apple, which you don't have up here, but yeah, here I can show Apple. There it is. See what happens here on Apple at the top. 221.70 the highs. 221.71. I flip long on Tesla here, held at 207, so flip long there. NVIDIA still long on that one. Tesla, super nice flip long there. We got long on that 207 hold, selling some here, 208. So apparently there's a Google live stream going on right now, and there's some mistakes with tech or some kind of technical difficulties, and they're looking pretty nervous, and that tanked Google. Well, it made this nice move, which was awesome for us because we were short. We covered some at 163.80s, so that was a nice dip for us. Watching the Google made by Google Live keynote right now. Interesting stuff. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. I got some open trades, Tesla long, NVDA long, and a couple small trades on Google Coin and Nike. Nothing big there. So I'm going to look to close up shop early today, and probably see you guys on tomorrow. So hope you guys had a good day today, and we'll